So here they are, the purple opal flakes. Look at that. Sorry, I just had to do a serious close-up of that. Now, I'm sure you will have seen these around, readily available from Just For You Online. Here you go. I'll put you a link below. Don't forget, you can get a discount with Just For You Online. These are part of the Ignition set, the Ignition Glitter set, that I am absolutely loving, and you'll gradually start to see why. So yes, there's a discount code for you down below. You can get 15% off the Just For You Online products. I'm going to be approaching them soon and asking them for some more of these. This set, I shall be ordering more, because it is, I mean, I've got a lot of flakes. I've got a lot of chameleon stuff, which is what this is. I have got so much. This stuff though, I've never seen anything quite like this one. This is by far the best I've ever seen. And no, they're not paying me to say that. To be fair, they did send me these to try. These were freebies to me to test. Now, what I could do is paint some gold into the pointy bits and do all that sort of thing. But no, I just want to chuck this in and try and get it everywhere. In his little ears, everything. Because I've also got some lovely gold marker pens that I can put detail in with later. So what we're going to do is just keep painting this around. It's say it is a proper flake. You know, yeah, I'm sure you've established, if you've tried various mica powders and flakes and things, that some moulds they just don't want to stick to. Some they do. This they stick to beautifully. This wasn't an overly expensive mould. I will put you the link for this below as well. These will stick to all sorts. There's some moulds that mica powders will stick to, but flakes won't. It's a case of experimenting. Depending on what the effect you're after, you can sometimes like spray something on the mould first to get them to stick, but you don't get this effect. What you're after is burnishing it in. Now, this is a makeup brush that I'm using, just a cheapy makeup brush. I bought a big set off Amazon. And you can, of course, you can use the makeup sponges, you can use ordinary brushes, you can use all sorts. When there's a lot of detail like this has got, I find brushes are the best, because you can move it around, you can get into all the nooks and crannies better than you would with a spongy thing. Now, if you're doing something where you're using lots of different colours and you're being dead detailed and you're doing different colours here, different colours there, then you will want to be a lot less messy about this and use a much smaller brushes, smaller amounts. But as I'm just going in and chucking the whole lot in like this, I'm just going for it, and this does mean that it's going everywhere. Now, powders and flakes and things in themselves are not dangerous. However, you don't want them in your lungs now, do you? Anything that shouldn't be in your lungs, you don't want in them. And you can see how this stuff is so light, it's floating around in the air. Can I suggest you wear at least a dust mask of some sort? Probably not necessary to go the whole hog with a respirator and all that for doing this bit. But then again, you are going to want that for your resin when we do that later. I am quite tempted though. I wonder how deep you can, here's a thought. I wonder how deep you can pour polyurethane resin, because I've got that in black. I wonder, has anyone tried a deep pour with polyurethane resin? You know what, I might do that just to see if it works, because if it doesn't, we'll know very quickly. I think my only issue might be that if I mix a load up, it might cure that fast. I don't have time to pour it into the mould. But shall we try it? Shall we? Shall we, people? God, I'm starting to feel like a Blue Peter presenter. Anybody who's not in the UK, sorry, you won't know what Blue Peter is, I'm sure. Anybody who's in the UK, can you message the ones who aren't and tell them, please? It was, when I was a kid, Blue Peter was, I always fancied being a Blue Peter presenter. You could probably tell, those of you who know what the show is. It was a programme for kids, but it was aimed at kind of intelligent kids, the sort that would want it. It was educational as well as being a fun kids show. It'd have some of the news on it in terms that children would understand. It also had, though, the bit that I tuned in for, There's always a bit on animals too, I always love that bit, but the bit I tuned in for really was the craft bit. Blue Peter were the ones that taught us that you could make Christmas advent crowns out of coat hangers and tinsel. They also taught us you could make spaceships out of washing up liquid bottles, and so on. Blue Peter changed my life, and I never got a Blue Peter badge, which upset me. Not that I particularly tried, to be honest, but you know, that would have topped off my world. And the craft bit, they used to make things out of all sorts of funny things, but it was very creative, and some of it was blooming good ideas. Okay, so any Brits in my viewers today watching this, put a comment below. Which of the Blue Peter projects did you do? Did you do Tracy Island? That's what I want to know about. Anyway, right, yeah, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to try mixing up some polyurethane. Have I got enough black is the question. Yes, I have. I have indeed. Here it is. So, polyurethane resin, or PU resin as it's known. Part A and part B, you mix it 1 to 1, nice and easy for the hard of thinking like me. Just trying to get the top off. As you can hear, it's one of those lids. It's child-proof and Tracy-proof. Right, he with the stronger hands has got the top off for me. There we go. So we've got 50-50. Going to mix it up fast. Going to use a plastic knife because I think that'll mix it quicker than one of my usual stirrers. It's got a bit more surface to it. Because you have to work quick with this stuff. As you see, it's a lovely rich black. But you do have to work quick because this will cure in about 10 minutes flat. The white polyurethane resin starts clear, and you can see it start to go white as it cures. Obviously this is black to start with, so you don't get that heads up on when it's starting to cure. What I do is I put my little finger underneath it when I'm holding it. Can you see? I just put my finger under. As soon as I start to feel some heat, I know you got to get it in there fast. So far so good. I have no idea what this will do at this depth, but I'm hoping that's mixed well enough because I daren't keep it in the pot much longer. So fingers crossed. Let's chuck it in and see what happens. And I've got a bit left over, I think. That's good. Oh God, this is starting to thicken already. I can see it starting to thicken. Ecky thump. Now my only question is, I should have squished the horns. Is it going to get down into his horns? Let's tap it and hope for the best. Because there's awkward bits there that I don't know whether it will get into. Now, of course, I've got some left in my pot because I did mix a bit too much. So in with the obligatory heart mould. Just going to chuck the last in there. Because then at least, rather than wasting any, I've always got some to make jewellery blanks and things like that with. Now, I don't know whether torching it works. Yes, it does. It's smoking though, because I've got my mask on. Respirator by this point, folks. I think this stuff's safer than epoxy, but I don't know to what extent. So I'm just tapping because I want to try and make sure it's got into the tips of his wings and his horns. What I should have done was fill it halfway up, but I got a bit panicky there. Fill it halfway up and then top it up after. There's some more bubbles going up there. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it and see what happens. I am going to leave it about half an hour because if it does what I think it might do, it's going to get really hot. So I'm going to leave it half hour, let it cool down as well. Right, back in a bit. Right, I hope this is cured. Feels like it hasn't. It's not hot now. Little bits have cured. See if the little heart has. Yeah, isn't that lovely and shiny? Just been reading up actually during the interlude to see how deep Google reckoned you could pour this stuff, because I couldn't really find anything much on the product information. So and it said you could it varied from brand to brand, but probably up to at least an inch. So I thought, well, should be all right then. Oh look, well I never. That is looking very promising if I can get him out. I just hope I got it down into his horns, because oh yes, I did. Look at that. Hang on, let me have a fiddle with this light. I see, I'm turning my light so it's dark now. I'm just turning the light up so you can see the colour. Look at him. Well, I never. What an amazing quick way to make a dragon. I mean, well, there we go. And oh yes, big thumbs up for using that powder with the polyurethane resin. By the way, you might see polyurethane resin called PU Resin. It's just an abbreviation, it's the same thing. Well, that's my donation for the event sorted. Right, if you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up, if you would please, that'd be great. And the buttons to subscribe and join my membership scheme are down below, of course. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.